We're going to move forward with similar idea of going through lists, transforming them. We're going to throw in a function now. So this function is called create suspect objects. And what does it return? Who feels like they've been neglected? Avoid my eye contact if you feel neglected. It's forcing you to actually look at me. That's so funny. What about, I feel like we chat a lot, but maybe I don't call on you as much, so maybe you guys are neglected over here. What does this function return?
It looks like it returns an object, but there's a lot going on.
Yeah. What makes you think that it's returning an object?
Honestly, the curly brackets and
Yeah.
the object properties that we're looking at here.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding.
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Cool. So we're returning an object. We're finding some properties on this object, right? We have 3 properties. We have a name property. And this name's getting passed in, right? So we have just this function. It spits out an object. When you give it a name, and it figures out its color by splitting the name at the space and getting the second one. So scarlet, mustard, white. And then it has a speak function where it says its name. Yeah, and so we have this colon syntax here. That's an object literal syntax that we were looking at earlier, often on the side, right? We've been working a lot with dynamic properties, adding things after we initialize the object. But here's just an object giving it to you all at once, but it's the same thing. The key here is that there's some curly brackets. We don't see any keywords around it like function or if or something like that that may make it feel like it's something else. And also we can't return things like if and things like that, but we can return functions. Cool. And then we have an array of suspects. So we have some more suspects now. We have Colonel Mustard on the scene. Wonder what happened to Rusty. I don't know. So, can someone spot the difference?
Is it that you call speak immediately?
There is something different about speak, I will admit.
It's a method on the function now, or on the object now?
Yeah. So this is a method. This is a ES6 feature where we can add methods like this. No colons, just straight on there. Works the same. No surprise. It's not an arrow function or anything like that, just a regular function. So there you go. There's you some ES6. Okay.
I guess you don't even need the function keyword for speak.
Nope, not in this case. Yeah. All right. All right, so we're initializing an empty suspects list. And actually, before I give it away, what we want to do is we want to initialize each suspect into an object. I call this like hydration, like we're hydrating data into an object. It's not the most, I'm not using it very academically when I say that though. Like people have opinions on like what hydration is and isn't. In this case, when I say we're hydrating an object, that means we're just taking a piece of data, and we're turning it into some data structure, right? In your applications, you probably have like a view model or something. Do you guys work with view models at work maybe? And you have some data coming in, or even just a model, right? You have some data coming in either from the back end, or if in the case of your view model, maybe you have data coming in from a user, who knows? And to me, I would say that when we take that data and we turn it into an object, or like a class, that's like hydrating it. Does that make sense? Does anyone else use it? I hear some people use it like that, but I also hear people using it in like a lot of different ways. Does that make sense? Have you guys taken data and turned it into a class or an object? Yeah, can I just see if that's something people have done? Okay, cool. So that's what we're going to do here. So this function is kind of like a class. in JavaScript, classes really are just functions that return objects. So this is really a class in as much as, using the keyword new or whatever is a class, except in this case, we don't have to worry about the keyword this. Who really understands the keyword this? I do, because I teach it, but most people don't. So we're not doing that today because that's just a whole nother tangent that I would love to get on. I think actually I have in one of my I think in Data Structures and Algorithms course, if you want to learn about the keyword this, that's one of the very first I do an object-oriented programming piece, and you can look into that and look at the different styles. Anyway, so we're going to hydrate this list. What do? We want to have, so we have the suspects list, which needs to be a list of objects created from the create suspect objects function. Are you guys following me here? I'm saying suspects a lot, and it's very difficult. So we want Miss Scarlett to have a function with a name property that says Miss Scarlett, right? When we say Miss Scarlett .speak, I want it to say my name is Miss Scarlett, that kind of thing. Yeah? We're good? Okay. What do we do? How do we do it? Do we use destructuring here? No, just kidding. What do we do? How about this corner? Cameron's like, don't look at me. Christina? You could just take a stab at it.
Well, if you said Miss Scarlett .speak, it should.
Yeah, we would need to initialize it first, So basically what needs to happen is we need to pass this string to this function so that we have an object that has Miss Scarlett with a name. This should say Scarlett, etc. Does that make sense?
Create suspect objects. You mean calling the function?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Create
So how we were gonna? Oh yeah. So we'll do create suspect objects. And then what?
And then the name Miss Scarlett.
Mm-hmm. But let's get it out of our suspects.
Yeah. Oh,
Like that.
okay. So zero.
Something
yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we call it like that. Of course, this isn't gonna work. All right. Do I have any typos?
Name split still says 1.
It should say one, I think.
Oh, for 0 and 1.
Cool. Is it going to work? Is it going to explode? Ah! There we are. There's our hydrated object with Miss Scarlett. Cool? Straightforward? Awesome. So we can loop through our list and, oh man, it kind of messed up my indentation. But we can loop through our list, right? So we start at 0, we go all the way up to the length of the suspects, we increment each time, right? That's what this says. And we're going to assign suspect, right? Maybe we want to say let here, right? Because we're going to reassign it. And we're going to pass create suspect objects suspects at I. Then we're going to push suspect into the suspects list. Seem fair? So we're looping through a collection, hydrating it, creating instances of these objects, suspect objects. Cool. Have you guys done this kind of thing before? Yeah? Okay. Here's that with the last line combined. So we just say create suspect objects, suspects at I, and put that inside of the push and add it there.